Billionaire CEO catches waitress using his computer, then sees code that leaves him speechless. It was just after 10 p.m. on a rainy Thursday night in Manhattan when Julian Crest, the billionaire tech CEO of Neuralink Systems, ducked into the quiet, half-empty diner off 8th Avenue. The rain had soaked through his coat, and he was bone-tired from back-to-back investor meetings. He just wanted coffee, something warm, and silence. The Silver Spoon Diner wasn't his usual haunt, too low-key, too ordinary. But tonight, that's exactly what he needed. The warm yellow lights, the clinking of cutlery, and the faint hum of 80s jazz felt like an escape from his high-stakes world. He chose the back corner booth, placed his leather satchel on the seat beside him, and ordered a black coffee from the waitress with a tired but sincere smile. She was young, maybe early 20s. With curly hair tucked into a messy bun, sleeves rolled to her elbows, and eyes that held a strange mix of exhaustion and fierce determination. Her name tag read Lena. She nodded silently, scribbled his order, and walked off. 15 minutes passed. Then 20. No coffee. Julian glanced up, slightly annoyed, but what he saw made him freeze. Across the diner, behind the counter where customers weren't allowed, Lena was seated at a staff computer, his laptop. His bag was open, and there it sat. He stood abruptly, instincts kicking in. He was halfway across the room before he stopped. Lena wasn't just using the laptop. She was typing. Lines of code, Python, JavaScript, some AI libraries he knew by heart, flashed on the screen in rapid succession. Her eyes were laser-focused, her fingers dancing with a speed and precision he hadn't seen outside top-tier developer labs. Julian blinked. This wasn't a thief. This was genius. What do you think you're doing? He said sharply, unable to keep the confusion and curiosity out of his voice. Lena jumped to her feet, face flushed, guilt written all over her. I'm so sorry, sir. I wasn't going to take anything, I swear. I saw the laptop and couldn't help it. I should go. She started to close it. No. Leave it, Julian said. He stepped forward and looked at the screen. It was an AI program. A voice recognition prototype. But not just any prototype, this one was self-correcting, adaptive, and small enough to run offline. It solved a problem his R&D team had been stuck on for 6 months. She had built it. Julian turned slowly to face her. Did you write this? She hesitated. It's just a passion project. I don't have a real computer, so I code whenever I can, in libraries, cafes. I shouldn't have touched your stuff. Please don't call the manager. Julian didn't speak for a moment. Then he asked softly, where did you learn to code like this? Lena looked down. I taught myself. Online courses. Free PDFs. I've never been to college. Couldn't afford it. Why this? Why code? Lena took a deep breath. Because it's the only thing that makes me feel like I'm not stuck. My mom's in assisted care, early onset dementia. I work double shifts to help pay for her nurse. But when I code, I remember that I'm more than just a waitress. I remember I could be something. Julian stared at her, the weight of her words pressing on him. She wasn't begging. She wasn't fishing for pity. She was just trying to survive. And in the middle of that survival, she had created something brilliant. You know what this is? He said, pointing to the screen. Lena nodded, biting her lip. It's an early build of something I thought might help with speech accessibility. For people who lose their voice, like stroke patients. I was testing a neural voice model that could adapt to limited inputs. I haven't had time to finish it. Julian sat down, slowly, as if the ground beneath him had shifted. Do you know who I am? He asked. She shook her head. I'm Julian Crest. CEO of Neuralink. We've spent a year trying to do exactly what you just did, and failed. Lena's eyes widened, her mouth parted slightly in shock. I should be furious that you accessed my laptop, Julian continued, but all I feel is stunned. He leaned forward. You don't belong in a diner. You belong in a lab. With a team. With a future. She looked away, eyes shining. People like me don't get those kinds of chances. They do now, he said firmly. That night, Julian didn't just leave her a tip, he left her a job offer. Full salary. Full benefits. A seat at Neuralink's innovation incubator. And a promise, you'll never have to borrow a stranger's laptop again. Within a month, Lena had moved into a small studio apartment, placed her mother in a better facility, and walked into Neuralink's Glass Tower headquarters as the newest junior developer. No fancy degree. No resume. Just raw, undeniable talent, and a boss who believed in second chances. The transition wasn't easy. There were stumbles. Doubts. Nights she cried from exhaustion. But every time she touched the keyboard, she remembered the diner, the rain, and the moment everything changed. 6 months later, Lena stood on stage at a tech conference in San Francisco, demoing the finalized version of her voice recognition model. The crowd of industry giants rose in a standing ovation. A woman in a wheelchair, tears streaming down her cheeks, spoke through the program's voice assistant and said, "For the first time in 3 years, I feel heard." Julian stood at the edge of the stage, watching, his heart full. He had built a billion-dollar company. But this moment, felt bigger than all of it. Afterward, a journalist asked him why he had taken such a risk on an unknown waitress. Julian smiled. Because kindness is not charity, he said. It's investment in potential. Sometimes, the people you overlook are the ones who've been building brilliance in the shadows. They just need someone to bring them into the light. And as Lena walked into her future, not just as a coder, but as a symbol of what belief and compassion can ignite, she carried with her the quiet, powerful reminder that every life can change with a single act of faith. Even if it starts in a diner. The end.